What's up, everybody? What is happening? Okay, so I just changed the name to the channel. I just put Rick Knight there. I dropped the Bad Philosopher, although I think I'm going to put the word Bad Philosopher back. I was planning on doing it anyway. I was going to do a slow transition by making, each video making mention to changing the name and then adding Rick Knight and then eventually dropping Bad Philosopher. But now I had to do it a little sooner because I was quoted in another article again, the Brooklyn Eagle, over this over the Drag Queen Story Hour protest that I'm involved in. So I wanted to change the name to make it easier for people to find me online. Now, we did the one protest in Garrison Beach, Brooklyn, and now there's one June 27th in Crown Heights, Brooklyn, that we will be attending, and we got a write-up about it. I'm going to go to the article. Now, the article is written by a woman named Megan McGoldrick. Very nice woman, very polite, very professional. Nothing bad I can say about it. She seems like a great person. I spoke to her on the phone yesterday. I spoke to her prior to the first protest, and then I spoke to the day of the protest very briefly. Very, very, very nice woman. I have a little issue with the way what she quoted me as saying. I had a couple arguments that I wanted in the article. She didn't place it in the article. I feel that I have the strongest arguments against this transgender stuff. You guys know, because you've seen some of the videos that I've put up making my arguments, making my claim to why it's not a good idea. And it did not make the article. Also, they had a podcast or a radio show right after the last protest. And they claimed that they reached out to us to be on the program, but we didn't reply to them. They didn't get a reply from us. That is not true. They never reached out to us. That is a blatant lie. So now I'm openly saying, anytime you're ready to reach out to me, I will reply to you. I will show up and I will do your show. I will speak to anyone. I will debate anyone. I will have a conversation with anyone about this. We're not ducking anyone. So that is a blatant lie. So just to put that out there. Now let me get to the article. This is the article in the Brooklyn Eagle, the Brooklyn Daily Eagle, Drag Queen Story Hour, and its protesters head to Crown Heights. Now, this is a quote from me underneath it. If they won't let up, I don't see why we should. Let me go down. Now, I'm going to skip some of this and go right to my article, or at least my, what I'm featured in this article. The problem is that they're pushing an ideology, which they are. One of the protest organizers, Rick Knight, told the Brooklyn Eagle Thursday night they argue that it's a drag thing, not a trans thing, but then they're preaching gender fluidity. Now, here's the issue. I said that a lot of people argue that this is not a trans issue, it's a drag thing, and know the difference, and they say stuff like that. And then I pointed out that it blatantly says gender fluidity on the flyers in the New York City Public Library and on their website. It says gender fluidity. So this is more than just a drag thing. This is a trans thing, 100%. This is gender fluidity. It says it. And this was one of my arguments, and it never made it. Well, they presented it in this light, which they definitely could have done a better job. When you read the paragraph above that, the Story Hour is a worldwide program that invites drag queens to read to kids and teens at libraries, schools, museums, and other community spaces to provide children a broader range of non-traditional role models. Protesters say the story time is openly attacking the innocence of children, and with their second protest of the event, they appear to be mobilizing beyond their neighborhood. Of course, we're mobilizing beyond our neighborhood. The program is mobilizing beyond their country. They're worldwide. It says it there in the paragraph. I didn't write that. You did. It also says that libraries, schools, museums, and other community spaces where they're providing these things. And they're also doing, it's a wide range of non-traditional role models. This is the problem that we have. It's an unrealistic role model that you're providing for them. You are providing them an opportunity to admire someone who's being something that they can't be. It is delusional. It does cause a lot of problems in the future. We have a lot of problems in the transgender community. There's no need to spread it. This is one of my arguments, but I have more. Okay, Knight, a YouTuber who has identified himself as a lifelong friend of the Sheepshead Bay resident who organized the Garrison Beach protest, said that this time he's taking the reins, and he plans on going national. I did say all of that except for the reins. I didn't say I was taking the reins. That could have just been a basic misunderstanding. I did say that I was going to help out a little more and get more involved and help my friend Tag out, who's he's really the main organizer, to be honest with you. But I want to step up and help him out a little bit so he doesn't have the burden of doing all this on his own. Yes, I did say we are planning on going national. Planning on going and actually going is two different things. We'll see what the future holds. Okay, now as the Crown Heights Public Library gears up to host the event on June 27th, a flyer nearly identical to one that made the rounds around Garrison earlier this month is starting to crop up in local Facebook groups because we put it up. There were more than 50 counter protesters at the Garrison Beach event on June 6. Supporters and opponents clashed outside the branch while the program's headliner, a purple-wigged performer named Angel Electra, read stories like "It's Okay to Be Different," told by she told it, but by Todd Parr, and sang songs like the Itsy Bitsy Spider to a standing room only crowd of kids and parents. Now, some people said, at least this is one resident of Garrison Beach named Nicole, there's a lot of ignorance toward what drag queens are, as well as what the LGBT community is. In the first place, a Garrison Beach resident named Nicole told the Eagle prior to the protest at her local branch, the premise of the protest is that somehow kids are going to catch the drag. It's ridiculous. No, that is not the premise at all. That is only the premise for simple-minded individuals like yourself. Had my arguments that I've been making about this have been printed, and if people get to hear them, maybe you would feel differently about it. I'm still waiting for someone to refute what I have to say. It seems like instead of refuting my argument, they just call me a homophobe and a transphobe and all of these, all of this stuff. Okay, this is someone from the library spoke up and said something. I don't care. I'm not surprised to see this group. This is a mother. Okay, Marine Park mother, Dari Lichman, who organized the Garrison Beach counter protests. And whose 11-year-old daughter attended the story hour, said she isn't shocked by the rally's rival. I'm not at all surprised to see this same group protesting at another library because they are extreme religious zealots, she told the Eagle. They believe their religion makes it okay for them to discriminate against and harass others, never taking a moment to realize that what they are is actually being taught is hate. Well, never taking a moment to realize that what they have actually been taught is to hate, not love. First off, Lichman, I'm an atheist. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in any metaphysical claims at all. I believe in nature. I follow the science, all the scientific discoveries. I follow the science method, the science models. I actually love science. To be honest with you, I'm a little bit of a science nerd. I don't know everything about the subject, but I do enjoy learning about science and always have. I don't believe in heaven or hell or God or Satan or any of these things at all. I don't approach this with a religious argument. So what you're saying doesn't make any sense, at least not to me. Maybe you're speaking about other people that showed up. Maybe they shouted out things that make you think that that's what they are, a religious zealot, but it's not me. Lichman is organizing another counter protest to show support for the Crown Heights events and created a Facebook event to spread the word. Now, at least two different, I don't want to get into the officials because I did talk about that already. I'm going to go further down it says Brooklyn Public Library is proud to offer Drag Queen Story Hour at Crown Heights Library and at many other branches. A spokesperson said the program consistently draws large, enthusiastic, and supportive crowds throughout the borough, and children love the stories and songs. Still, Knight contends that telling kids they can be something they're not is delusional. Yes, it is. A boy cannot be a girl cannot be a boy. Telling them that they can be is delusional. Knight said that while he can't predict the turnout of the second bout, he hopes it mirrors the first one, which he thought went better than expected. That is true. It's too soon to call it. He said it's early in the morning, and honestly, people are afraid online. They'll say something, but coming out and showing your face is a different story. Yeah, I said something to that effect. Maybe not exactly like that, but I'm not going to split hairs over that. It's somewhat accurate of what I said. When asked if they would continue protesting Drag Queen Story Hour, Knight said, "That's a question for the drag queens. If they won't let up, I don't see why we should." And I'll be there too, Lichman said. So, pretty much that is the accurate part. She, in the beginning of the conversation yesterday, she asked me, why are we doing this? Why are we going to continue to do this? And I said, well, that's a question for the drag queen. If they won't, if they won't stop. I don't know if I said if they won't let up, then I don't know if the wording was like that, but she was probably writing fast and, whatever the case may be. I'm not too upset about that. But what I am upset about is, to be honest with everyone, is that I made my point multiple times on this channel in multiple different videos about transgenderism and what I'm not a fan of about it. And I did say that there's 3 reasons why a person is trans, right? Either they do have gender dysphoria, which is in the DSM-5. I'm not making this up. It is here in the DSM-5. I'm pretty sure the APA will be bullied into taking it out soon, just like the World Health Organization was. It is a mental disorder, gender dysphoria. That's one reason a person would be trans. The reason number 2 would be that this is like transgender. I said this in multiple videos. This is a fashion trend for them. 3, it is done for political reasons or ideology that they are pursuing. Which leads to different political things and stuff like that. So those are the only 3 reasons for trans. I don't see any other reason. Even if you told me a person is trans just because they like it, okay, well, that's the fashion sense. That's the trend. I mean, okay, you like it, fine. That falls under the fashion bracket. If you told me that they're doing it to show support for the LGBTQ, R2D2, C3PO community, then yeah, that's ideology. That is political. So yes, there's only 3 reasons a person would be trans. Either way, those 3 reasons are not good enough to target children between the ages of 0 and 3. Now let's move on to my next argument. My next argument was that when you have a male or you have a female, you have a physical property behind what is being male or female. There's something tangible. You can point out male or female. There's physical characteristics to a man. There's physical characteristics to a female. What are the physical characteristics to a Z, zer, they, or them, or the other 750 gender pronouns that are out there? Could you pick them up out of a lineup? No, you can't. Each gender pronoun is different according to the individual who assumes that identity. They are living in some objective reality. Their gender is based on some arbitrary whim of emotions that they have at the moment. There's nothing tangible behind being a they or a them, but there is something tangible behind being a man or a woman. We know what the characteristics of are of men and women. Now, yes, we're all different. We have different personalities, different shapes, color, sizes. Things are different about us. Of course, 100%. There's black, there's white, there's different. There's gay, there's straight, there's young, there's old, short, tall, fat, skinny. We look different. We act different. We behave different. Yes, that's all true. But there's still a physical description of a man and a woman. There's no physical description of a Z or zer or they or them or any of these other gender pronouns. It's based on the subjective, emotions and opinions and creativity of the individual who assumes that identity, which, by the way, you cannot assume an identity. Identity is given to you by the people who view you, the people, us, by society, because we're the ones who our brains perceive you as you are, not how you want to be. If I decided that I want to be recognized as a sea turtle and I walk around with a shell on my back going like this, no one is going to perceive me as a sea turtle. They're going to perceive me as a crazy person. That's how it works. So this whole nonsense with gender fluidity is a postmodernist doctrine that is actually going to lead to more trouble than it is worth. And this is why I'm saying that we need to keep this away from children, especially the ages of 0 and 5. You said it yourself in that paper, at least, that it is, a non-traditional role model that you are trying to provide for the children. An unabashedly queer role model and stuff like this. This is a slippery slope that we are heading towards. So now I just want to throw at some of my opposition out there that took the time to say that I engage in hate speech, like you, the Senate member, Andrew, Granades, whatever the hell your name is. Nothing I said was actually hateful. This is a philosophical argument that I'm making, not a hateful one. So maybe you should learn the difference, or you shouldn't be an elected official. Scott Stringer, the city controller, who said that this is homophobia and it shouldn't be tolerated, or whatever the hell he said in Garrison Beach. Nothing I said had anything to do with homosexuality at all. I'm actually in support of gay marriage and support of people to have the right to be gay, because it is their right and they can do what they want, and we shouldn't be there to infringe on that right. So this has nothing to do with homophobia that you threw out there in a whim without even really thinking about the argument. And to the woman who said that we are religious zealots, I have not made a religious argument because I don't believe in religion or God. So again, I am just waiting to have one of you people on your side debunk my arguments, at least a little bit. At least tell me that I'm 100% wrong. You can prove that I'm 100% wrong, that whatever I'm saying holds no water at all. I'm just waiting because it has, I haven't seen anyone that can really provide a strong argument to change my mind. And we were not invited to this podcast or radio show that the Brooklyn Eagle put on, which hopefully this time I will be, so I can speak to these individuals and explain exactly what my position is and all this and get my argument out there that they will not put in the paper. They didn't put it in the paper this time, and they didn't put it in the paper the first time I spoke to her. So maybe in round 3, my actual argument will go into the paper. So we'll see. Thank you for taking the time. I'm sorry for getting all excited and I don't know why I do that. I get fired up, and then I guess that's the only way my brain will actually get all the information out is when I'm fired up like that. If I'm all like nice and calm and peaceful, it just doesn't want to come out. Like my brain is too lazy for that. I have to be all on fire and ready to fight to get all the words out. So thank you for taking the time and watching the video, and I'll see you guys next time.